Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to your favorite morning show, Wake Up and Ball, brought to you by BetUS Sportsbook on Roundtable Sports Network. I am your host, Richie. He is your host, TD, and we will be breaking down all things sports. We got the final NBA Cup standings are in the works, all right? We got the quarterfinals underway next week. We're going to break down who made the NBA Cup, who did not make the NBA Cup, all right? We're going to break down all things NFL, recapping some games, recapping some storylines, maybe starting some previews. We got some big games coming up this weekend and a lot of other things. Juan Soto is starting to eliminate teams, and there's rumors that he may sign as early as today, tomorrow, or even Friday. So let's get straight into the business, and let's wake up and ball. TD, good morning, my friend.
Good morning, Richie. Thanks for waking up and balling with me every single morning, man. I really do look forward to this part of my day, always starting out on top. And ladies and gentlemen, I hope y'all have an amazing day today. Today is hump day. It is Wednesday. We're about to get into all things sports. Yes, the NBA, man, we'll talk about some stuff there. NFL, more previews and different things coming up. We love you all. Let's wake up and ball!
Ooh, all right. We like to wake up and ball with you guys by screaming and yelling and blasting some music, because some of you guys got to wake up, roll out of bed. Come on now. Get up. It's time. And here we go. Some people say those hats are fire. These hats are available on our site. If you do guys want to check out roundtablesports.shop, I mean, these Roundtable Sports hats, Roundtable Sports merch, it is available, TD. I don't know if the people know that, but
yes.
If you guys are interested in any Roundtable Sports merch and want to represent the brand, here they are, right here.
Yes, y'all go check it out, man. Listen, the entire line is up. All you have to do is go cop it, and rep the merch, man. This is something that we're building that's special. You could be a part of it and contribute and get something at the same time. So go ahead and cop the merch. It goes a long way for the company to continue to do bigger and better things, baby. Let's go. And wake up and ball. Let's go.
Come on now. Go get your wake up and ball mugs, guys. We got, and listen, if you guys want to get, I got this for my girlfriend. I got this for my my sister, my friends. Nice sports bra. You know, Roundtable Sports for the girls that want to go out to the gym that represent Roundtable Sports. You got the Roundtable Sports, pint glass. We got the Champion long sleeve, the lightweight zip-up windbreaker. We got the muscle shirts if you guys want to go to the gym, representing Roundtable Sports. If you want to be more official, you got the polo. We got the bucket hat. This one's my personal favorite, the ribbed beanie. I got this one for the winter time. It's a really nice ribbed beanie there. Also, the fanny pack, of course, the crew neck, the Champion T-shirt, and then these are the two hats that TD and I are wearing. I'm wearing the snapback one. TD's wearing this one, their Under Armour hat, and then we even got Roundtable Sports water bottles. So if you guys do want to get your Roundtable Sports merch, definitely go check it out. I just put the link in the description, folks, at the top of the chat if you guys want to go check that out. All right, let's get into business, though. Whoa, you're not over there. I'm on that side. Sorry, TD. But listen, man, I want to start off with some NBA talk because the NBA Cup is officially solidified. Here is the official tournament standings that we can expect coming into the NBA Cup. You have the Orlando Magic taking on the Bucks in the quarterfinals. We have the Atlanta Hawks taking on the New York Knicks in the quarterfinals. We have the Mavericks and the Thunder, the Warriors and the Rockets. These are all the teams that made the NBA Cup, and now they're going to fight in Vegas to try to make it all the way. The New York Knicks did the damn thing. Because last night, TD, I really love this NBA Cup. Because last night, it felt like there was a playoff atmosphere at Madison Square Garden. And the Knicks were taking on the Magic, and the winner of that game advanced to the NBA Cup quarterfinals. And the Magic, they positioned themselves in a good spot where they just had to lose by 31 or less, and they still made it as the wild card spot. But it was cool to see. The Knicks completely dismantled the Magic last night. The Magic were 6 wins in a row going into the game, and the Knicks had everything clicking for them. Josh Hart, triple-double. Karl Anthony Towns, 23 and 15. I don't know if you saw the viral moment of Cat, but he's embodying being a New York Knick, baby, doing what he did. I can keep going. The Knicks are clicking right now, and they're going to go win the NBA Cup, all right? What's your thoughts of it? And I also noticed there's a specific team that's missing on this that missed out on the NBA Cup. Can't be me.
Richie, for the people who don't know, he's trying to take a shot at the Boston Celtics for not making it. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna be honest with you. When I look at these standings, it's one word that comes to mind. It's cute. You know, it just looks like all the teams that have no shot at really truly being in the NBA Finals. So they have an opportunity. This is their real true playoffs, their real true opportunity to actually win a finals within a season. So I give it up to these teams who made it in the regular season. You know, the big dogs, you know, they didn't make it to this type of stuff. They're fighting for the real stuff. But
moving the goalposts.
They ain't moving the goalposts, Richie. But here's what I will tell you. What I learned last night is that the Orlando Magic are shams, and that the New York Knicks are better than the Magic. They are definitely better than the Magic. The way that they manhandled them last night, and trust me, ladies and gentlemen, the score was way out of reach, more out of reach than the final score even suggested. Knicks probably could have won by 50 if they really wanted to, because they dialed it down at the end of the game. Or there could have been some collusion, Richie. Or there could have been some collusion here. Hey, let us beat y'all, but we're going to make sure that you have the exact amount of differential so that the Celtics can't get in. Maybe there was some collusion here, Richie. I don't know. But it's all good. It's all good. But here's what I want to get out of this. The Knicks are on their way to taking the number two spot in the East. Orlando's not up for it. Okay, they got a good start. They got a good team. They got good players, but they are not better than the Knicks. And that's what I learned last night. Absolutely getting blasted. I feel like at one point the score was like 80-something to 50.
Yeah, it was. We were up by 37 points at one point.
Yeah, it's just terrible. And I believe y'all have the same amount of losses now, right?
Yeah, they're 15-8. We're 13-8.
Yeah, they just play more games than y'all. So that's how I feel. The Knicks are a better team than Orlando, but Orlando can be a team that, you know, is a little scary for other teams in the East. But that's my take out of it, Richie. The field is set. Let's see who comes out of this. I love the in-season tournament for the idea that some of these guys can get some extra cash, especially the non-superstars that are coming off the bench, and, you know, the backups even past that. You know, they're working hard. They're practicing hard. They want this because that's a nice little chunk of change to add on to their add in their pockets.
Yeah, Josh Hart don't care about that. He wants a watch. He wants to get that new AP.
Nice chunk of change.
I mean, look, listen to him.
No, I get a new watch. I might get a new watch though.
Are you scrapping for the money?
You're
scrapping for the money?
Yeah. So I don't really care about the young guys getting murdered. I don't care about me, you know, what I'm gonna spend.
You're a fucking asshole.
I'm just keeping it 100. I want a new watch, so I might get that. What, JB? What's something else I can do to just spend money? I can get a new car.
Make some new parlays.
Nah, I don't even bet no more, bro.
What happened? You just bet me. You just give me $100 after the Commanders lost. Remember that?
That don't count though.
Okay.
Josh Hart is a treasure. He really, really is. He is absolutely hilarious. And he's out there saying that, you know, Jalen Brunson's out there being the captain. Like, yeah, we're trying to win for the young guys. You know, they deserve the money. You know, the players on the two-way contracts, they don't make a lot of money. We're winning for them. Josh Hart says, I win for them. I'm trying to get a new watch.
Well, at least he's honest about it, you know. That's what it's about, though. He's 100% honest on that, man. Listen, it's a nice little $500,000 easy, you know, after taxes. Yes, well, you're up in New York. So after taxes, maybe we get a little $3. You know, hey, $300,000 just here, you won. that is a nice little chunk of change. You know, that is a big time, a nice watch. That is one of the nicer cars.
I
You
think
know,
they
so
made like 11K just for making the quarterfinals as well.
so there's each round is automatically still gives you some money.
Yeah. And then the further you go, the more you make. But the champions of the NBA Cup, they get that big pot of 500K.
Even better. Even better. That's dope. That's dope.
Yeah.
So
So-
you're incentivized to play at every level.
Exactly. So I feel like right now, you know, it incentivizes the players to kind of care because I feel like if there's no real incentive, I don't know if anybody would really care in terms of the players. And I feel
Yeah.
like that's been something that really leveled it all up for the NBA Cup. And I feel like this is year number 2. Last year was kind of like a weird like trial, like what is this? And now we're in the second season of it. And I think it's a positive thing.
Yeah.
I really, really do. I think that the NBA has done a pretty good job of that. So we shall see how it goes on. I got the New York Knicks winning that thing, man. I'm curious if BetUS has the odds to win the NBA Cup because they did have it at one
Golden
point.
State's in there, right?
What's up?
Golden State is in, right?
Yes.
I think that's what I saw. Yeah, I probably picked them to win the whole thing.
So here is the odds on BetUS Sportsbook, the number 1 online sportsbook on the face of the planet, folks, to win the NBA Cup. All right, you got the New York Knicks as the betting favorite at plus 350, baby. The betting favorite at plus 350. What you know about that? What you know about it? All right. And then you have the Thunder right behind them at plus 450. The Warriors are tied at plus 450. The Mavericks at plus 700. The Bucks are also favorable odds. I like these odds, man. I'm going to put some cash on this, man.
I'm shocked Orlando is so low, though. You know,
What are they at?
1,000.
Yeah, I mean, they're without Paulo, but they've been playing really good without him. Interesting stuff. The Knicks got an easy one against the Hawks in the round 1. I mean, hopefully, I don't want to say it's easy, but they got to be able to win that one. Hey, if the Knicks make it, you know where the finals are held?
Where's that? Miami,
Vegas.
Vegas. I didn't know that.
I may
Hey,
have to go.
you ready to take a trip, Richie?
Hey, man, if they make it, I'm down. I'm down to go to Vegas for that, man. That's a really good excuse to go to Vegas for a little trip. Come on,
Wow.
TD.
NBA Cup championship game.
Yeah, and that's the
And it's
game.
just one game eliminations.
One game elimination. Yeah, one game elimination
So when do the playoffs start?
next week. So here's the schedule. You got, Tuesday is the first game, Magic Bucks, and then after that game, Tuesday 9:30 is Mavericks Thunder, and then Wednesday is the Knicks Hawks game at 7, and then after that game is Warriors Rockets. And
Is
then
the
that's
rest of the
quarterfinals.
league? Is the rest of the league all for a week?
Yes, the whole league is off for a week.
Okay, so I like this. This is like a early All-Star break.
Yeah, kind of. Not for the Knicks though.
Yes, I see.
But and it's weird. These games do count towards the regular season, but I think the final doesn't.
Gotcha.
I think. So the Knicks and the Hawks game, this counts towards their record. These games are going to count towards the record. So interesting
So
stuff.
These guys will play more than 82 games.
The team in the final does, I believe, and the Lakers won it all last year. They played an extra game. So
Yeah, but that confuses me. So when they play on Tuesday and Wednesday, that's going to be another game added to their schedule, though, right?
yeah, they do some scheduling gymnastics.
So
where
they
okay,
kinda
the Knicks
rip
Hawks
away
game.
later.
Yeah, the Knicks Hawks game down the line. This is the game they're playing now instead of down the line.
Gotcha.
And I think they kind of do some type of scheduling changes where there may be some type of games being played next week. But I'm pretty sure. I mean, I looked at the Knicks schedule, and like they had 7 days off during the NBA Cup, and now they don't because they're playing. Like for example, the Knicks on their schedule don't have a game. Like they did not have a game for a week. And now they have a game on Wednesday versus the Hawks. So interesting stuff. I think that the NBA Cup is interesting, and we're going to be keeping a close eye on it right here on Wake Up and Ball to bring you guys
Tuesday,
all
right.
the latest. And the Knicks play Wednesday night during the AFC's Roundtable next week, though.
The Knicks play Wednesday night, but okay, that makes sense. So that's when they'll take their L. All right, I got you.
That's when we're celebrating the Jets' W over the Dolphins that night. So
Lies.
it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting. But if you guys wanted to take advantage of the 150% bonus on BetUS Sportsbook, you guys can use the promo code YouTube150 to get your 150% bonus on your first deposit, 125% on your next two. That's up to $2,000. All right? You guys can do that with a 10% gambler's insurance policy. Make sure you guys bet responsibly. Go check out BetUS Sportsbook, the number one online sportsbook, this proud sportsbook sponsor of Roundtable Sports all season long. Big shout out to them as always. All right? We love you at BetUS. All right. We got a lot of games coming up this weekend. Now, there's not going to be an episode of Wake Up a Ball on Friday, folks, because I'm going to Miami, baby. And TD's got to pick me up. So there's going to be no episode of Wake Up a Ball Friday morning. So we're going to get into the previews a little earlier because there's a lot of fun games that we want to highlight. You know, starting off with Thursday Night Football, Green Bay Packers versus Detroit Lions, man. This is going to be a heck of a game. I mean, you talk about Thursday Night Football. Not a lot of people like Thursday night matchups sometimes, but this one's going to be a really good one. So everybody in the chat, you guys let us know who you rocking with in this game. Are the Lions going to stay home and, you know, keep up their 11-game winning streak, I believe it is, or something wild like that? Or the Packers going to be able to pull off the upset? Don't forget to hit the like button as well, chat. We appreciate you guys as always. So who you got in this game? NFC North matchup.
That's a good one, Richie. This is tough. You gotta go with Detroit, you know, because they're the more proven team this year. I'm not gonna fall for the trap of saying, "Hey, you know, Green Bay got a good chance of beating them." That would just be me hating on the Lions, waiting on the big dog to be taken down. Okay. So I had to go Detroit in this game. Now, Detroit has had some injury concerns as of lately, but I don't think that that's going to overall, you know, really impact the game. Green Bay's a good team, but I just still don't think that they're on Detroit's level. Now, I think the important thing in this game is the implications if Detroit was to lose, Richie. Do you realize how massive that would be in the event of
the Vikings?
For everybody, Richie, for the Eagles, for the Vikings, for Green Bay, for Detroit themselves, that would be the shift of all shifts. And you know what? That's what made me want to pick Green Bay, though, because I feel like the NFL could use that shift. But, man, that would rip the NFC apart in the last 4 weeks of the season going forward after this week. Like the intensity in playing would be off the charts, man, because now you'd have like 5 teams with the potential of being the number 1 seed, 4 or 5 teams. So I got Detroit winning, but boy, oh boy, this is a massive game.
What was your thoughts of, I don't know if you saw it, but Rodgers was on the Pat McAfee show, and he was talking about how proper teams rebuild, and he brought up the Lions as a perfect example of the Lions rebuild. And I thought it was really interesting what he said. What he said was, did you see it?
No, that's what I was going to say. What was it exactly?
So he was saying that having an owner back the regime and instill confidence in them makes all the difference. So you talk about the timeline of when they hired Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes as the GM. You remember their first season together, how many wins they had?
1?
Like 2 or 3 wins.
Yeah, something like that.
Rebuild.
I remember.
Yeah. Do you remember what their record was through the first 8 or 9 games in year 2?
No, I don't.
They were like 1-8.
Wow.
Now, I don't know if that's exact, but they were like not good throughout the first 8 games. And things were getting loud. Everybody was like, Dan Campbell's on the hot seat. Like, this guy's out here and they all suck. And there was a lot of people in the media, a lot of people in the public questioning Dan Campbell. And you know what happened? The Detroit Lions owner went out there in public and backed Dan Campbell and backed the GM, said, these are our guys. These are our guys. And he did not only just back them privately, but he backed them publicly. And what that did, since that moment, do you remember what the Lions did in the second half of that second season? They went on a run and finished 9-8. missed the playoffs.
Okay.
And then year 3 was last year. And now we're in year 4. So Aaron Rodgers' point was rebuilds takes time and patience, and also having an owner believe and instilling confidence in the regime privately and publicly goes a long way. Because right when Dan Campbell and the GM heard that their jobs are safe and they have the trust upstairs, they all of a sudden that things change. And Rodgers was saying that's not a coincidence. So, like, I feel like that was a little shot at the Johnsons, a little bit, just from the standpoint, like, yeah, the Johnsons doing completely the opposite. But 2 different organizations. But what was your thoughts of that? Because I feel like, not even connecting this to the Jets, just more about the Detroit Lions and how they operated the rebuild, where they were not quick to just rip it apart. They went out there in the public when everybody was questioning them and said, these are our guys. And when that moment happened, I think the record's like 35-6 or something, like wild since that moment when they went on a second half run in that second season. And then last year they won the NFC North, go to the NFC Championship game. And now here they are 11-1.
Well, first of all, I know this isn't about the Jets, but I got to talk on that real quick. That's confirmation Rodgers will be back next year. All right. You don't have to believe it, but that is confirmation, ladies and gentlemen.
No, that's
Rodgers,
him saying that the Johnsons firing Saleh, firing Douglas are morons. That's what he was saying. He's like, get me out of here.
Maybe that's the case, but
he's clowning the Johnsons, saying like, yeah, they're getting rid of me. They're getting rid of. He also mentioned the quarterback in this situation where people were questioning Jared Goff.
Yeah.
And as well.
Well, he's right. He's right in this sense. You did a complete rebuild. Nobody cared about what you did in that first season. This is why I continue to take that same approach with the Patriots right now. That you notice that, right? That's kind of how I feel about the Patriots. Who cares about this season? I don't care what we go out there and see. As long as you're seeing small, certain intangibles, you keep moving forward and you start building. And you shredded the team apart. So that first year was irrelevant. The second year, you're starting to, like, the first year is a purge year. You're actually getting rid of players. The second year, you're starting to bring players in, but it's not supposed to be good either. But a great coach will make it good. And you want to know something? It reminds me of Brian Flores with the Dolphins. Don't forget, Dan Campbell was the Miami Dolphins interim head coach. He, whenever we fired the head coach before him, we made him the interim head coach, and he brought a spark to the team. And we went on a little bit of a winning streak. Then we lost a few because we were smart. We were like, Dan Campbell is coaching well. We're winning games. Then we started losing a few. Then the offseason came, and we were like, man, they need to make Dan Campbell the full-time head coach. No, they moved on, and then they hired another head coach. And now Detroit was able to benefit from that a few years after that. And it reminds me of the Dolphins and Brian Flores. The first year he came in, we got rid of everybody. We had a whole bunch of undrafted players, but guess what? He had the team like 6-2 in the last 8 or something like that, balling with a whole bunch of no names, not a single name on the team. You know, in the second year, I think we started out 1-7 and ended up 9-8 or something like that, just like that, Richie. And same thing the year after, with the exception of an injured quarterback, and then they fired him and moved on. But Dan Campbell is a prime example of, you got a plan, you have a timeline in that plan, you see that plan through in its entirety. You see it all the way through. And that's what they did. Purging players in year one, who cares? Winning 2 or 3 games. The second year, starting to bring the players you like in, who cares that you started 1-8? But you know what? We're starting to put it together and develop this young talent too. And then year 3, they get their finishing touches. They took off last year. NFC Championship, lost barely. 30 points, over 30 points put up. And this year, they're the catalyst. They're like the front runners in the league. Don't know how it's going to end up, but they built a contender. They even if they don't get the first seed, even if they lose in the playoffs in the second round or something, they did build a contender. So it is proof. Aaron Rodgers is correct. When you got a plan, you stick to it and you start executing. You don't give up in the first little sign of turmoil. Now, you look at teams like the Miami Dolphins today, that's a different story. We've had 3 years straight of turmoil after the first 2 years of a rebuild, and it's been turmoil. No real true growth. Still haven't won a playoff game. So, yeah. And listen, Detroit didn't really buy it. They were developing too. They were developing a roster. They got some good, nice players, but they didn't just buy it all. They developed a lot of those players on that roster as well.
Yeah, they did. I mean, I think it really comes down to belief upstairs, and I'm excited to see what the Detroit Lions look like Thursday night and what's going to look like from then on out. Another thing.
Thursday night game?
Yes, Thursday night.
I didn't even realize that, Richie.
Woo! In other news, we have Aaron Rodgers is having a Netflix documentary released in 2 weeks. Did you see the trailer for that?
No, I haven't.
Remember I told you that Netflix reached out to me to be featured on it?
Yeah, well, I didn't realize. I guess it's all hitting home today, so it's actually happening.
Yeah, they go watch a trailer. The Netflix dropped the trailer yesterday. It's called Enigma.
Okay.
And I'll tell you this, man, that would have hit like if the Jets were 9-3 in first place right now, and this was coming out, Jets fans would be like, eat it up. But now we're trash, and we know Aaron Rodgers is washed. I promise you that not a lot of Jets fans are going to enjoy or even watch it. Now, the cool thing about this documentary is you're going to see his two worlds. They went out there, went on his little ayahuasca retreat to kind of document what it's like, his little spiritual journeys, and, of course, his football stuff. So it's going to be the parallel life of Aaron Rodgers.
Oh, yeah.
And why he's such a polarizing figure. You see the grind of the rehab process last year. And I think that this show is definitely going to take a hit on ratings just because of Rodgers' failure this year, where if Rodgers was lighting it up right now and he had this Jets team in the playoff race and he was playing good football, this show would have went nuclear. You know what I mean?
Richie, can we have just a brief real conversation about Aaron Rodgers real quick?
Sure, man.
I'm starting to feel like Jets fans are doing him wrong. Let me explain that, Richie. Y'all don't think it's unfair that y'all put such high expectations on him this year, coming fresh off of a season-ending injury, haven't played football in almost a year? Like
he's on pace to have the best Jets season statistically in a long time.
Yeah, but and maybe that's just getting back Rodgers. Like we I'm gonna be honest, the way that the expectation for him is zero room for error. And nobody is talking about the fact the man came back from a season-ending injury and didn't play a full season of football. And I just think that, to be quite honest with you, it's kind of unfair.
How's it unfair? I mean, we brought him here.
He might go somewhere next year, potentially, right, and really have an MVP caliber season. And then people are going to say, well, he didn't do that with the Jets.
He probably will, knowing us. 1
year removed from not playing any football because of a season-ending injury. Like, no room for error. Like,
I understand what you're saying. I understand completely. The realization is that the Jets acquired him, and we all expected him to be the missing piece to the puzzle to bring us to the promised land. And when that missing piece is failing and he does not look anything close to what he was, I mean, we had one game of an Aaron Rodgers this season where we're like, oh my gosh. And that was against the Patriots on Thursday night, week 3, our home opener. When we saw that, bro, I mean, I'll be honest.
I thought the Bills was game. The first one was, oh my gosh, too. I thought we were there. I thought he played a good game.
Yeah, I mean, I was like, damn. I mean, Aaron Rodgers is here, man. But at the end of the day, he also, and this is no excuse, this is another reality you have to realize, he's been playing hurt all year. This last week was the first time he was not on the injury report heading into the game. He was dealing with nagging ankle and hamstrings, and I know nobody wants to hear that, but when you're 40 years old and you have a little knick-knack injuries like that, you're going to be able to – he's getting hit. And I think the offensive line was a failure this season. We liked how the offensive line looked on paper, but it didn't really gel. And, when you don't protect your 40-year-old quarterback and he gets hit the way that he did most of the time, he's going to get those injuries. And, he was fully healthy in that game against the Patriots early on, and we saw him the way he was moving. He had like 18 rushing yards. He was pretty much healthy for the most part against that Bills team. But whatever the case may be, this team around him failed. He failed individually. And he has a standard, and the players around him were not living up to the standard, and he was not living up to his own standard as well. So I think it was a collective failure. It's not just on him, but it's a collective failure that starts with him when you're the quarterback.
Yeah. I mean, hey, I get it. I honestly, if I'm going to be truthful and honest, Richie, I haven't said this, but I actually think the Jets should run it back.
No, they shouldn't. There is no running it back. We don't have a new. We're getting a new regime in here. There's no.
Yeah,
running
when
back
you
next
do
year.
though, when you do, I think they should run it back.
But there is no running it back. You want to know why? Aaron Rodgers said a lot is in the air, and a lot determines of the coaching staff. There's no chance he's coming back with the new coaching staff that we're getting. We're not running the same system. We're not running the Rodgers system. That's going backwards, not forward. We need a completely new identity. And that starts with bringing in a new regime with a new offensive mindset. Because this system around Aaron Rodgers fails. We run the most go routes in the NFL. Why? Because he's at the line of scrimmage, hot routing everybody. That's a recipe for failure. The offense is so stale. It's not creative. It's not fresh. It's not dynamic. You see all these offenses around the league. You see these shovel passes, these motions, these, get in the defense on the heels. This offense is just, we're going out there, we're splitting empty, and we're just going to see how you match up and try to, hot route it. It's just, you can't win that way. You can't in this league. We need an actual coaching staff that we don't have. So that's the reality of it. The Jets have failed Rodgers. Rodgers failed the Jets. I don't care whichever stance you're on. The reality is the reality. We're 3-9 with Aaron Rodgers this season, and he's played every game.
All right, Richie. I'm just saying. I think, man, listen, we'll see in a few months, but I think you're going to run it back anyway.
Well, the good thing is he's about to have the best game of his life coming up on Sunday.
You might be right, Richie. You might be right.
Because he's going into Miami. And one thing I know about Aaron, he plays his best ball against division rivals. He's going to get his first taste of the Jets-Dolphins experience. Now, if you guys don't know, TD and I will be at this game for the AFC East Roundtable event. We still have tickets available. If you guys do want to come, definitely check us out over there. Any Dolphins fans want to come to this event, meet us. But listen, man, Jets-Dolphins AFC East matchup. Crazy that we are seeing these two teams go after it for the first time this season now. But this is the Jets-Dolphins game coming up. The Miami Dolphins, they're coming off a tough loss. The Jets coming off a tough loss. Obviously, you look at the records. The Dolphins are up 3 games on the Jets. But at the end of the day, any man can be beat. And the Jets are going in there and trying to put the official dagger in the hearts of the Dolphins fans because we still got people out there. Oh, wait, but if the Broncos start losing and the Dolphins win out and the Colts lose, there is a path for the Dolphins.
Hey, there is.
Hey, mathematically there is, but logistically there's not.
According to you, the Jets going to shut all that down this week.
Oh, yeah, baby. I am confident the New York Jets are going to go out there, put the dagger in the hearts of the Miami Dolphins.
Get out of here, Jesse. I see you in the chat. Get out of here with that nonsense.
Jets should hire Flores. Honestly, put Miami on a silver platter for him twice a year. If we hired Flores, we will start a crazy win streak against Miami. He's never losing to the Dolphins.
Richie. First of all, I'm done entertaining this Vrabel Flores talk to the Jets mess with y'all, okay? Why? I'm done entertaining that. It's not happening.
Why?
Y'all will get an offensive coach and do it the wrong way. I promise you.
All right. Well, I don't think that's going to happen, but at the end of the day, we
There will
shall.
be drama. There will be drama in the
Well,
AFC.
and the funny thing is, our graphics guy made a mistake. You're not 6-6. I guess he overinflated you guys. So sorry, we have a typo in the graphic. Our graphics guy put you guys at 6-6. I guess that was TD texting him, hey, just listen, man, pretend we're 6-6 to make me feel good or better about myself. You ain't 6-6. You're only 2 games ahead, not 3. We're gonna finish with the same record this season.
That was the Green Bay. I thought we were gonna win that game, so I submitted 6-6. But listen, Richie, yeah, we're 5-7, but we're about to be 6-7 this weekend. Let's just be honest, Richie. The Jets are terrible. Okay, they're terrible. They're outmatched, outclassed in every facet of the game. We got the better receivers. We got the better quarterback. We got the better running back. We got the better. We got the listen, Richie, at the end of the day, our secondary is the only issue in this game, in my opinion. We're banged up in that area. But Aaron Rodgers, he been really washy. We're gonna win the game, but
we're gonna watch this live, man.
I know. Together. Okay, let me have a moment of honesty here, because it's hard for me to even be confident about my team in this game, to be honest with you, because this could be set up for the game offensively that the Jets go off, because Aaron Rodgers will pick apart and take advantage of our secondary with the young guys trying to fill in for Fuller and guys like that, because we're banged up. Look for a lot of back shoulder throws. Look for a lot of heave ups and pass interference draws. I could see a lot of that happening in this game. What is Ramsey gonna get on Devontae Adams? Who's gonna be on Garrett Wilson? I mean, I don't know. This is I think that it could be nasty in that sense, but Tua will out-duel him. It'll be a shootout. I think we'll do a good job overall throwing the football against the Jets. Sauce is out, even though he overrated anyway.
He would have locked down Tyreek in this game.
Yeah, lie to yourself, you lie to whoever. But listen, our offense. So this is going to be a shootout. Who has the most penalties? Who has the most turnovers? And who makes the special teams play? That's what this game is going to come down to.
I feel like this is going to be the Garrett Wilson breakout party, which I'm excited about. He's coming off a quiet game last week, which is so infuriating because he was open in the end zone and Rodgers just kept missing him. So you know that he's going to go out there and, have one of those games, okay, one of those games. But I feel like, when it comes to Tua, what's going on? What's with your fan base, right? Like, your fan base is obsessed with the idea that nothing is Tua's fault. The team around Tua is failing him.
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand that. I mean, are they just looking at the stats and saying, like, yeah, but look at his rating, look at his yards. Like, I mean, I got someone on I mean, look at this. This is what I'm seeing on Dolphins Twitter now, chat. This is what I'm seeing. He has elevated his play while his teammates have failed him. We're just looking at these numbers and not watching the games. Not watching him miss fourth downs, watching third downs, and, I mean, like, crucial, critical plays. Like, yeah, look, the numbers are great on paper. But what is he doing? And then we got someone saying, honestly, Tua and Allen could switch teams and nothing changes with team trajectory. Allen is making Fins better. Tua not making Bills worse. Hard for casual fans to grasp. Buffalo physical team. Allen extends plays with legs. Tua wizardry with quick release and anticipation. What is going on with Dolphins fans?
Wizardry. We've come to using terms like wizardry, I guess. Here's the reality. When you have Tyreek Hill, Waddle, and a whole bunch of plethora of weapons, right? Like, Tyreek's having a down year, right? But people are ignoring what the impact he's having. Tyreek Hill is garnering a double team on almost every play. Every defensive scheme is bracketing Tyreek. That is allowing Jonnu Smith to catch wide open passes all day, y'all. Jonnu Smith having a career year, by the way, for those who don't know. Tight end Jonnu Smith, a career year. The man has probably caught more wide open passes than anybody in the NFL this year. And that's what's happening. The emphasis on Tyreek and Waddle is allowing Tua to have an easy outlet in the tight end, which is good for a game plan standpoint. But when the rubber meets the road and you play a good defense who can match up, who can play against that well, it gets tougher. Now, some people say, well, Tua played well against Green Bay. I mean, go look at it. Let me tell y'all something about Tua Tagovailoa. I'm going to use this as an example, Richie. I watched the primetime game last week of Justin Herbert. And Justin Herbert hiked the ball, faked the handoff to the running back, turned around and was back to pass. I saw a guy come open shallow in the flat right away with nobody around. I said, ooh, that's an easy one. Get it. Herbert looked at him and said, no, I got arm strength. I could survey for another second. And looked around, saw Lad McConkey over the middle, bulleted it through for 30-something yards. And then Lad McConkey went down the field, and that was the one he fumbled, but he got it. They got it back, I think. But it was like a 55-yard game. And because on a play like that, if nothing was open, he would have came right back to what he saw originally. Not Tua Tagovailoa, hike, fake the handoff, turn around. I see that, gone. That's still your difference, ladies and gentlemen. Some people would be like, well, Herbert has more time, though. He could do that. Man, I be watching Tua in clean pockets. Guys just starting their route, and he hurrying up and getting into that quick little outlet. Now, it works because he gets into the quick outlet for 2-3 yards. Then they run up the field for another 8 or 9. But that's your difference, Richie.
There is a sickness.
That's why
within the NFL fan base
percentage is higher.
Yeah.
The completion percentage is higher. And if you can do that all day, you're going to get a lot of yards. But when you get to that red zone, what's your execution? And then
and also like the Packers, you guys were losing what? Like the Packers were just not allowing anything over the top and forcing everything to be underneath, and just in a prevent kind of just like try to come back in this game. They were up 24-3. Like people just love hyping up padded stats, which is why, like, I'm sorry, Colby and the Patriots, but like 60 to 70% of Drake May's numbers are garbage time. Like that's garbage time numbers, just trying to come back, and the defense just allowing, like, if you are not playing good football early on in the game, there's a reason why you start playing better football when you're down 3 scores. Like, it's a sickness that people are looking at these numbers.
You know the philosophy people don't realize, Richie? Like, a team will come with the game plan on defense to stop you, right? But that game plan is aggressive, because if you get beat in that game plan, you might get a quick, big-time score, like, right? So they're being aggressive, and they're dogging you. You're down 24-3. And then next thing you know, they're like, all right, we can keep going with the game plan, but again, it's still risky. At some point, you're going to get bit. So instead, what we're going to do, we're going to go back into this shell prevent, keep getting your little 8, your little 9-yarders, waste about 5 to 10 minutes so we can get closer to the end of the game, and we're going to try to bend but not break. And then teams start eating, and you're like, oh, now we made adjustments. No, you didn't. They did. They changed up what they're doing. And because even in that same game, Richie, we kept going downfield. We were starting to have success, and then Green Bay said, all right, let's clamp down a little bit better again. Then we got clamped down again. So at the end of the day, people don't understand situational football. Everybody loves to look at a run or somebody coming back and be like, look at the adjustments. Sometimes the other team just adjusted in your favor. So that's what's happening in Miami. They're glorifying trash time stats with Tua. And at the end of the day, again, Tua's a good quarterback, but he's not great. And he missed a lot of key plays in that game as well. And that's what they don't want to talk about, Richie. The key plays, the few plays that could be home runs that he misses, but he was cooking for the most part. Y'all, it's a sickness. They're defending. They want to defend him so bad. They want him to be the guy so bad, and nothing's wrong with that. But unfortunately, he really isn't.
Yeah, I mean, I understand that sickness. I was sickened by it by Sam. So, and we have somebody in the chat. His name's Jets Forever. He's sick by it with Zach Wilson still to this day. See, look, Zach hate is a disease. So he's a perfect example. All the people that's defending Tua is him defending Zach Wilson. So, like, to defend Miami Dolphins fans, they're not the only ones that have this illness. Every fan base has a sector of the fan base. When you draft a young quarterback, you blame everything but him, right? You blame everybody but him.
Because, Richie, they want everything perfect around him to determine who he is. Well, ladies and gentlemen, the NFL isn't a perfect formula. You're not going to get perfection around these guys. Yeah, some guys got a better situation than others. But why can't the guys carry? Because at some point they all will be required to when they get the big money. Stop asking a guy to have everything around them when they get paid, especially then. Like, come on, man, because you see some quarterbacks doing more with less. What Jordan Love do last year, and who was his core around him? Come on, man. You got to look at these quarterbacks doing more with less. It's happening out here too. Those are the ones you invest around. Look at what Herbert has been able to do with the worst defense in the NFL his first 5 years. He just broke the all-time record and still got 5 games left. Justin Herbert has the most passing yards in NFL history in the first 5 years, and he still got 5 games left. This is the type of stuff. The man, like Joe Burrow, look at what he's doing with less around him. No defense to help him out. So miss me about the Dolphins. I get the wins and losses, but you still got to hold your own on the offensive side of the ball and make it without a shadow of a doubt. Let them know I've done all I can. But you got to stop defending quarterbacks that do okay, but they made some mistakes and then try to point out all the other issues.
Yeah, but Zach was prevailing through all of our dysfunction. He's elite.
He was prevailing? Is that what we're saying? That's what you call prevailing? All right, I guess.
It's Zach will get another chance. He will rise. Now, this I agree with because any former Jet that goes elsewhere thrives. It's everywhere. So we're going to see where the Zach Wilson situation ends up. But only time will tell, right? Only time will tell. And now we got the Buffalo Bills taking on the Los Angeles Rams. Is there any chance that the Rams can get this dub? Are you bought into the idea that the Buffalo Bills just can't be beat right now at this point of the season? Like Josh Allen is the MVP. You haven't convinced yourself on that. I did send you a text last night. I don't know if you watched that. It was Richard Sherman on his podcast kind of defending what you have been saying about Josh Allen not being in the MVP. You should definitely watch that. But
I see it now, but I haven't watched it, but I'll check it out.
Yeah. So what's your thoughts of the Bills and the Rams game? Do you think the Rams have a chance to make the playoffs still? Because the NFC West, it's still open, up for grabs, but the Seattle Seahawks are running away with it as of now.
To answer your first question, the Bills can be beat, just not by the Rams. At least they shouldn't, right? The Rams are going to take another hit this weekend, and that's the problem, losing to the Bills. So it's going to be even harder for them. Now, if they miraculously come out and beat the Bills, that's going to be a huge statement for the Rams, but I just don't see it happening. The Bills will roll in this game and go 11-2. They are the more superior team. They have the better quarterback. They're just playing the better football. It's not even much to really cover on this one for me other than the fact that, you got to roll with the Bills in this one.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to not be able to pick the Bills here. I'm picking the Bills for the rest of the season until they verse the Jets. Just kidding. They're going to beat the Jets as well. Flick Shorts comes in. Sorry, guys. Clips will be coming. Uh-oh. Clips is coming tonight for the AFC's Roundtable. We got the Atlanta Falcons taking on the Minnesota Vikings. Are the Falcons done? Because their trajectory is going down. The Vikings' trajectory is going up. What's your thoughts of this game?
Falcons definitely not done. I mean, they're still right there at the top of the division, so they got to battle it out with the Bucks. But Minnesota wins this game. This is the same situation as the Rams game. Minnesota just the better team, better weapons overall. Now the Falcons can make this tricky, though. They can make this a really good game. I think that these are really deciding factors for teams like the Bills and like Minnesota because, you don't want to drop one to a team that you should beat. This will be a good game, though, but Minnesota rises to the occasion. Sam Darnold and company gets it done, but that Flores defense makes it tough for all quarterbacks. Kirk Cousins is a veteran, though, so he, out of all people, should have the best chance of breaking through the defense.
Yeah, I think that the Minnesota Vikings have to be able to get this job done if they want to be able to get this W. JD the Great brings up a good point. This is Kirk Cousins' homecoming. Yeah. So we see Kirko go to Minnesota and light it up.
I don't think so. I think The
I mean,
team-
upsets happen every week. It's hard for us to predict it. You know, this
I
is an
agree.
upset watch.
But I think the team overall, they leave this game saying to themselves, "Hey, I'm glad that we did move on from Kirk Cousins." That's what I think this all ends up being in this situation.
You never know. You never, ever, ever know. All right. This is a snooze fest here. Bengals, Cowboys. Who cares?
Who cares?
But this one I care about.
Why?
Because
You
we're
gotta
going to
stop
see.
this business.
TD, I tagged you something on X, and I want you to watch it before our show later on the huddle because you keep clowning Bryce Young. You keep clowning his completion percentage, and I want there to be context. There has been no help around Bryce Young, and he has had multitude of drop passes these last 5 weeks. And you keep saying the completion percentage. Go watch the dimes. I'm telling you.
So
Stop
Carolina's
looking at the
beating Philly.
stats.
So Carolina's beating Philly now. That's what we're
Stop
gonna
looking
do.
at stats.
That's what we're
and
gonna
go
do, Rich.
watch the film of Bryce
Carolina's-
Young, and you're going to be
Carolina's-
coming away more impressed.
Carolina's beating Philly now. That's what we're gonna do, Richie.
Watch. You.
I dare you. I dare you. Double dare you to say that.
Bryce Young. Bryce Young out there cooking, man. You know, I think you have something against short people, man.
Oh my God.
Kyler Murray, you hate. Now you have a new hatred for Bryce Young. What's with you and these
I've never mentioned
anti-short?
Bryce Young's height. Kyler, I have. I've never mentioned Bryce Young's height.
No, but just in general, those two players are fairly short compared to other quarterbacks, and you dislike them both.
I
I
don't
think
have anything against them, but here's what I was saying.
TD is anti-shortness.
They don't have a shot, Richie.
You got to look at the tweet that I tagged you and Dan in, though, to see all the drop passes that Bryce Young has been dealing with the last 5 games. And if those catches have been caught, his numbers would have been even better than what it is now throughout his best stage of his NFL career. So I'm telling you right now, Bryce Young's starting to cook. Beyond the details, $5 super chat. Thank you so much for the super chat, my man. Love the show. Fins up. That's awesome, man. We appreciate you guys that's been tuning into this show here, Wake Up and Ball. It's been a joy to wake up and talk some ball with you guys every single morning at 8:30 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. We really do appreciate it, guys. And we appreciate the super chats. Don't forget to hit the like button, guys, if you're enjoying the show. How many likes do we have right now? Let's see. We have a total of 35. That's it. Oh, we lost TD. 35 likes, guys. Hit the like button. If you guys did not already, please do us a favor. Hit the like button. TD glitched out. All right, TD glitched out. No, it's because we don't trust Bama QBs. That's why you don't like Bryce Young. You guys are anti-Bama quarterbacks. Well, TD left me, so I guess we're going to wrap up the show here, guys. Go check us out on The Huddle later today. Also, we will be live on Bleacher Report. All right, Bleacher Report is at 11 a.m. Me and TD Fins Talk, our weekly show, 11 a.m. on Wednesdays. Go check us out on there. The Bleacher Report app at 11 a.m. EST. And then we're live on The Huddle at 3 o'clock. And then it's going to be TD and I going after each other. Jets-Dolphins on a special BetUS TV show, which is going to be really cool. So I just want to show you guys this real quick while we wait for TD to come back, because you know he's going to have to come back. Where did he go? He just completely leaves us? TD? Can't leave us like, right? Come on now. Here it is. So if you guys want to check us out as well, after the huddle is done, TD and I are going to be live on BetUS TV for Football Live Feud. It's going to be me versus TD Fins Talk as we go after each other at 4 p.m. today. It's the same YouTube channel that the huddle is on, so you guys are probably already subscribed there. But definitely go, mark your calendars. Directly after the huddle, it's going to be TD versus me for a little feud, all right? So definitely go check us out over there on there. That's going to be a lot of fun, so we're excited about it. So I guess we're going to wrap up the show here because TD abandoned me. Much love to you guys. Much love to everybody in the chat for tuning into another episode of The Huddle, presented by BetUS Sportsbook, the #1 online sportsbook on the face of the planet, baby. We will see you guys later. Hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your day, and we'll see you next time. Peace out. Much love to everybody in the chat.